How to find mentors. I don't think I'm very professional or expert in this field, but I do have mentors. So at least I'm going to share the way that I found mentors, and also I'll share the way that I could find a mentor. I would say if you're on the younger end, it's easier to find a mentor than if you're, let's say, 30. Not saying that 30 plus is old, it's more like it just doesn't come across as very safe if you just ask a random person if they could be your mentors. It's like you've lived half of your life. I don't know what kind of intentions you have. But when you're younger, people feel more safe with you. They're like, this guy is an idiot. He can't have a master plan. So that is the reason that you could, or subconsciously, people think that you're safer. Um, so the first way would be if you're working in a company. That's the way I found a mentor. If you're working in a company that you have a direct access or email sort of access to the owner of the company, not like a manager, but more like the owner, the director of the company. If you have access to them, that's the best way to work hard and be, kind of like show up that you are a very disciplined person. Couple months later, you gotta like email, send a WhatsApp, meet them here and there, and ask them if you can ask them for advice and stuff. Start up with that, and then over time ask for more, meetings, chats, and stuff like that. And also, because you're wasting their time for almost no return, a part of that you're working in their company, but you're also paid for that. So they're getting no return in investment on the time you take out of their plate. So what you do is you take, let's say, the first meeting is about you. Let's say you just ask for advice and stuff, but also in the first meeting you ask, you like, these are my expertise, because there could be something that you probably do, to the side. So it's good to have like, these are my expertise. Tell me if you need anything from me. I am more than happy to do that for completely free, because I get a lot of value when you're giving me your time. And so in my case, some of my expertise are finding leads, and developing softwares, making websites, just basically doing the stuff that could improve the business. And let's say if that's your field, then you could do is, that's why exactly what I did is, after the first meeting I was like, I think I can find you some clients. That's what, I told my mentor. I was like, I think I can find you clients, and let's have a meeting, if you will, next week, and I'll explain how I can find you clients. Now, the next meeting, I came in fully prepared. I so I genuinely want to. I got to the degree. I was like, when I go to have a conversation with my mentor, I will just ask him that the only thing you need to do is say yes. You have to do nothing. I'll find you customers. The only thing I'm here for, and the whole meeting is about, is for me to hear a yes from you. That's it. So I made an email account, I made a Google Sheet, I made a Chrome extension, I made some sort of the Chrome extension that like scrape the details of the potential clients. I made an automated Google Sheet which sends email to the clients. It was just a full ecosystem of like just finding clients, emailing them, and then sending follow-ups. The whole thing automated. Obviously there is still my involvement, because I need to find the customer and then put it in the Google Sheet. And I explained it, the whole thing, and I was like, so this meeting is about, so I can just hear either yes or no from you, and that's it. Like, if you say yes, I'm starting that today. And he was like, all right, go for it. I was sure that he was not expecting anything big. And this was just an attempt. It could be like You just got to throw a lot of stuff to the on the wall and see what sticks. This is one of the things that I was incredibly happy. I was like, this is like I was so positive about it. I was like, this is gonna work. It didn't. It was a lot of hard work to set that up, but it didn't really work that good. Um, we did find, I think, some clients and stuff, but we stopped it because the ROI was not really worth it, and then I had to try something else. So, what the next thing I did was like, and this is the thing that I did, and I just show what I did to the mentor. I didn't ask him that, oh, can you help me out with some of the process? I did the whole thing and I just showed it. So the second thing I did was like I found someone on Fiverr, and he went through the company's Instagram, and he scraped all the posts, the written, the picture, the likes, the comments, the shares, if there were videos, the video views, everything into a Google Sheet, and then I sort it out in a way that I can find what kind of post gets the most views, and then I just send him the whole Google Sheet, and I was like, these are the type of post that does well, and this is like I just sent him the Google Sheet, and I was like, this is what works. I spend money. I think I spent like 60 to 100 quid on that, and I didn't even mention how much I spent because that's not what he asked for. This is what I wanted to do. So I did it, my expense, and just sent it to him. Didn't work. Obviously, probably got some value out of it. Probably not. I just throw, I just throw stuff on the wall, a lot of them, and see what sticks. That's how I work. Um, I will provide you value without you asking for it, and that's how you can get a mentor. Is it easy? It's not, but that's the thing, you know. Of course, it's not easy. Now, what happens is like once you find this company owner and you talk to them, and then you obviously gonna get some value from them because they know stuff. They've been there, they've done it, so they're already 100 steps ahead of you. So what happens is that they're gonna give you advice on your business, and they're gonna directly affect your business. What you need to do is you listen. You listen. You take stuff literally. When you're told what you need to do, they're gonna give you as a suggestion whether you want it or not. You just take it and you just do it. That's it. You don't fuck around, okay? You just follow the advice and just exactly do what you're told. That's good as well. That's kind of impressive because a lot of punks, they think their idea is better. So you hear the idea, and then 2 months later, let's say the mentor asks you, they're like, remember we talked about that, and you're like, yeah, I iterated because I am a genius, so fucking broke genius. I No, you don't iterate on these stuff. You just listen, you just do it exactly how they are. If it didn't work, then you iterate it, okay? If he told you to do something, it's probably something that he have done and it works. That's why he is telling you to do it. So just do it exactly as you're told. You just take advice literally and apply it literally, copy and paste. Um, and then what happens is you probably, if your mentor wants to, or you can ask him to connect me with other people as well that I can learn from. He will probably introduce you to other people, and like from one mentor you can get 2 to 3 other mentors as well, so you at the same time simultaneously have like 2 to 3 mentors. That's not bad, you know. And I would say I myself, I would just limit it to 3. I think the more mentors you have, the different ways they have that they operate. So what happens is like one is telling you one thing, the other is telling you other thing. Both of the ways are correct. It's more like you're just not sure what to follow. And 3, most of the time, they are like 3 perspective, sort of an agreement, sort of in the middle. And then what you do is you just follow the one that makes the most sense, and there are advice from one that makes the most sense, but there are advice from the other one that makes the most sense. So you just pick and choose. You don't mix them. Uh, Never fucking do that. That's stupid. Um, And then yeah, three when you have three mentors, that's a good number. Like it's cool, especially for business. Like if three mentors they're all about business, that's cool. That's good. Um, you can obviously find other mentors for other parts of your life, for part of business, health, fitness, relationships, stuff like that. But for me, it's all about business, and I have three mentors. I'm so happy with it. I don't want to have a bigger number, although I was introduced to more than three. But I kind of stick to only three. Uh, Now I would talk about if you are someone that is in a company, like let's say McDonald's, you don't really have access to the owner of McDonald's. It's you kind of have access to the you know the franchise owner. That's good. You can learn from them obviously because these are business people or KFC or something like that. But I don't know if they'll have enough time for you to like sit down with stuff like that. So I don't know. Uh, the so if you're working in a company like that, how you could probably find a mentor is that you search up your area, and that's what I do. And that's what I would do if I don't have access to any mentor through my work. Um, you open up the company's house. That's for UK only. Um, a company's house. You search up a company, and then you go to advanced filter, so you have the access to the filter, and then in the select area where there's like a search engine for like what kind of companies you're looking for. You search up your area, and then the company should be about 20 plus years old. So the guy is older, the company owner is kind of old, an older guy that has more time on his hand. If the company is 5, 7, 10, 15 years old, the guy is busy, doesn't have time for you. If the company is 20 plus years old, probably the guy is either retired or in a position that the company is doing fine, it's stable, he doesn't have to be very involved with everything. And then what you do is you search up the company, see where you can help, and then just provide some free value, directly email them, find them on LinkedIn. Don't LinkedIn them, it comes across as salesy. Email them, say, especially mention your age. If you are like under, I would say 25 or 30, it's pretty good. So you mention your age and you tell them what you do, and then you also tell them that what kind of value you provide. Try to come across as honest. Have some mistakes in the emails, so it come across as a human written. It's not a salesy or a pitch. And ask if you can have a coffee with them, and do that for like 50 of them, or 100. A few of them is going to answer, a few of them will be happy with the value you provide, and out of them you will have a few coffee chats, or chats in their companies. uh, Out of 10, the first impression, if you have far too many options, you stick with 2 to 3. um if you have one, that's still good. If you have zero, then you just need to put more work in and provide more actual value, change your email and things like that, and try again for the same people because they might have missed your first email. That's what I would do. I would do if I cannot find a mentor directly through my work. I think the best way is through work because the person knows you, he trusts you, everything like that. I mean, if it's through work, even if you're older, let's say 40 years old, still the guy will trust you. But if you're like 30 plus years old and you're straight up cold emailing people to ask for advice and mentoring and stuff like that, it doesn't look good. It's like people are like, I don't know what's going on with this guy. So yeah, if you find it through work, it doesn't really matter. Your age would not be a factor. um so I would highly recommend you working for a small business because these people would give you time and you do see regularly, probably on daily basis, the owner of the company, rather than working with KFC or Starbucks or something huge like that. um yeah, these are the ways I would find a mentor. And as I mentioned in previous video, mentor is a shortcut. You really need it. And yeah, find a mentor and they will help you out for free if you provide them value. Uh, don't run after the celebrity mentors like, oh my god, I really need Alex Harmozy as my mentor. There is plenty of Alex Harmozy in your area, they're just not online. Do you think Alex Harmozy was less smart when he was offline, when he didn't want to have a YouTube channel? No, now he has a YouTube channel. Now you think that he's the only guy that is that smart. That's not true. There is plenty of Alex Harmozis. There is plenty of, I don't even know many other business people in your area. You just need to find them, and they don't charge money. If you want to hire Alex Harmozy as your mentor, you gotta pay them probably like 100, 200, 300K. But the people around you, if you provide them enough value, they're gonna do that for free. Every 2 months, 3 months, you'll have a chat with them, and they're just gonna give you free value and return off value. Um, and that's just good. Like, why would you not want to do that? Same Alex Hormozy, not famous, has 0 followers, and they give you full attention. And even though, let's say for example, say you do hire Alex Hormozy, he won't know you that well. Like, there's just cons, there's no pros. You pay him money, you he doesn't know your story well because he's just involved in a lot of other stuff. He is a famous guy. Um, every single time you you need to introduce yourself from scratch again for every meeting, and it's just like the time is restricted. Like you have 30 minutes to talk, and it's like no. With the mentor locally, they have time, they remember you, they'll know your family members, they'll know you by your name, they'll know your story. If they would give you better advice because they know your story, they're gonna give you customized advice. While it's not the case with the famous mentors, yeah, it's not gonna work out. There is just pros with the local mentors, and there is just a list of cons with the mentors that are you can find online. There probably are some pros, but the pros are probably not outweighing the cons. So may as well just stick with the local mentor.